Junie B, first grader, at last. Written by Barbara Park. Chapter 1. First grade surprises. Thursday. Dear first grade journal. Yesterday was the first day of school. It is new here. Today my teacher handed out these journals. He is making us write in these dumb things. Only I don't even know what to write. My teacher has muscles and a mustache. His name is Mr. Scary. He made that name up, I believe. I am not even scared of him, hardly. From Junie B, first grader. I put down my pencil, and I looked at what I wrote. I did a sigh. I would like to go home now, I said just to myself. Shh, said a girl named May. I'm still trying to do my work. May sits next to me in the back of the room. I do not actually care for that girl. Just then my teacher stood up at his desk. His mustache smiled real friendly. Okay, boys and girls, you can stop writing now, he said. As I told you earlier, we will be working in our journals quite often this year. In fact, it won't be long until your journal starts feeling like an old friend. I rolled my eyes at the ceiling. What kind of an old friend looks like a dumb notebook? I said. Shh, said May again. You shouldn't talk while the teacher is talking, Junie Jones. I looked at her, real annoyed. B, I said. My name is Junie B. I think I have mentioned that to you before, May. I leaned closer to her face. B, I said. After that, I slumped in my seat, and I put my head on my desk. I peeked at the other children who sit near me. Their names are Herb, and Lenny, and Jose. I do not know them from a hole in the ground. I did another sigh. First grade is not what it's cracked up to be. My room is named Room 1. I was nervous when I came here yesterday. That's how come Daddy had to carry me all the way to the room, 'cause my legs felt like squishy jello. He put me down outside the door. Well, here we are, Junie B, he said. First grade, at last. My stomach had flutterflies in it. Also, my arms had prickly goosebumps, and my forehead had drops of sweaty. I am a wreck, I said. Daddy smiled very nice. There's nothing to worry about, Junie B. I promise, he said. You're going to love first grade. Just think, there's a whole room full of brand new friends just waiting to meet you. He ruffled my hair. Are you ready to go in now? He asked. Are you ready to begin your first grade adventure? I looked at him a real long time. Then I quick spun around, and I zoomed down the hall as fast as I could. Daddy zoomed after me. He caught up with me speedy quick, and he carried me back to my class. Only this time, he carried me straight into the room. As soon as he put me down again, I hid behind his legs. 'Cause that place was a zoo, I tell you. There were people everywhere. There were girls and boys, and mothers and daddies, and grandmas and grandpas. Plus also there were drooly babies and strollers. Then, all of a sudden, my whole mouth came open. Because good news, I finally saw someone I knew. I jumped up and down and all around. Daddy, it's Lucille, I hollered. Remember Lucille? Lucille was my bestest friend from kindergarten last year. Lucille was standing at a desk next to the window. I ran to her in a jiffy. Then I hugged and hugged that girl, and I couldn't even stop. Lucille, Lucille, it's me. It's your bestest friend from kindergarten, Junie B. Jones. I tried to pick her up. I am so glad to see you, friend, I shouted real joyful. Lucille pulled my arms off her. Stop it, Junie B, stop it, she said. You're wrinkling my new back-to-school dress. This thing cost a fortune. I stopped hugging her. Lucille smoothed and fluffed herself. I smoothed and fluffed her too. There, I said. Good as new. After that, I grabbed Lucille's hand, and I started to pull. Come on, Lucille, let's go find the 2 desks together, I said. I think we should sit near the door. Want to, huh? If we sit near the door, we can stare at people who walk down the hall. Lucille yanked her hand away. No, Junie B, no. I'm going to sit at this desk right here, she said. I already picked it out with my 2 new friends, Camille and Chanel. She pointed at the door. See them over there? She said. I met them before you came. They are saying goodbye to their mother. Aren't they precious? I looked at Camille and Chanel. And guess what? My eyes popped right out of my head. Because wowie, wow, wow. Those girls were twins, that's why. I sprang way high in the air. Twins! Twins! They're twins, Lucille. This is our lucky day. I pulled on her again. Come on, Lucille, let's go touch them. Hurry, hurry, before a line forms. Lucille did not budge a muscle. Stop it, Junie B. Quit pulling on me, she said. Camille and Chanel don't want to be touched. And besides, I am their new best friend, not you. I looked surprised at that girl. Yes, but I can be their bestest friend along with you, right, Lucille? I asked. All I have to do is meet them, right? And then all of us can be bestest friends together. Lucille shook her head. No, Junie B, I'm sorry, but you and I have already been best friends, remember? She said. We were best friends for a whole long year. And so now, it's time for Camille and Chanel to get a turn. She did a shrug. It's only fair of me, she said. And besides, their names rhyme with my name, and yours doesn't. She wrinkled her nose very cute. Camille and Chanel and Lucille. See, isn't that darling? After that, Lucille gave me a pat. Don't be sad, okay? She said. You and I can still be friends, Junie B. Just not on a regular basis. After that, she waved her fingers. And she said, ta-ta. And she skipped to Camille and Chanel. Chapter 2. More surprises. Plus Herb. Mother and Daddy keep trying to cheer me up about first grade. Mother says sometimes life has disappointments in it. Daddy says sometimes you have to roll with the punches. I say first grade is a flop. Last year I had 2 bestest friends. First I had Lucille. Plus also I had that Grace. Me and that Grace rode the school bus together every single day. Only too bad for us, because this year Grace got put in a different room than me, and that was not even fair. But hooray, hooray! Me and Grace still decided to ride the bus together, because that's what friendship is for, I think. And so last week, both of us sat next to each other, just like we always did. Only what do you know? On Monday morning, Grace got on the bus with a new girl from her class, and those two plopped down in the seat right in front of me. I quickly jumped up, and I tapped on Grace's head. "Grace?" I said. "Excuse me, Grace. What kind of shenanigans do you call this, madam? Didn't you see me sitting here?" Grace waved at me real friendly. "Yes, hi, Junie B," she said. "I'm sorry I can't sit with you today, but I promised Bobby Jean Piper I would sit with her this morning. Okay?" I stamped my foot. "No, Grace, not okay. You can't sit with Bobby Jean Piper," I said. "You and I have to sit together every single day, 'cause we sat together every day last year, and this year shall be no different." Just then, Mr. Wu, the bus driver, closed the bus door. He looked in his mirror at me. "Sit down, please, Junie B," he said. Bobby Jean Piper pointed and grinned. "You got yelled at," she said, kind of mean. I made a scary face at that girl. "Grrr," I said. "Grrr, Bobby Jean Piper." Behind me, I heard a loud laugh. I quick spun around. And guess what? It was Herb who sits in front of me in room 1. "Herb," I said, real surprised. "I didn't even know that you rode this bus." Herb kept on laughing. "You said grrr," he laughed. "Grrr, ha, that's a good one." I wrinkled my eyebrows at that boy. "Yeah, only here's the problem, Herbert," I said. "Grrr is not actually a joking matter. Plus, I wasn't even talking to you." Herb quit laughing. "I know you weren't talking to me," he said. "No one on this bus ever talks to me. That's because last year I went to a different school, so I don't have any bus friends yet." Just then, the bus stopped at the next corner. Herb came around the seat and sat next to me. "Maybe, just for today, I can sit here," he said. "Just until you get your bus friend back, I mean." I tapped on my chin, very thinking. Then, all of a sudden, I raised my voice real loud. "Why, sure you can sit here, Herbert," I said. "You can sit here forever if you want to, because I used to have a bus friend named Grace, but today I am dropping her like a hot tomato." Bobby Jean Piper peeked over the seat at me. "You mean potato," she teased. I sprang up again. "Bobby Jean Piper wears a diaper," I hollered. Mr. Wu frowned in the mirror. "Sit down, Junie B," he grouched. I sat down. Then I did a big breath, and I looked at Herb. "Today is not off to a good start," I said, kind of quiet. Herb nodded. "I hear you," he said. I slumped way down in my seat. "My bestest friends are dropping like flies," I said. Herb nodded. "Join the club," he said. "First grade is a flop," I said. Herb nodded. "Totally," he said. I looked out the window. "Grrr," I said. "Grrr," said Herb. I smiled to just myself. I think I might like this Herb.